Here's a look at the area that we cleaned out to move the washer and dryer. So this is the bump out for the pantry cabinets. And right here is the space we're going to put the washer and the dryer. So that'll be side by side. And it just so happens there used to be that type of equipment in here. So there's the drain pipe hole cut in the floor with the hot and cold water supplies. And if we follow this up, see other telltale signs. Here's a hole cut through here for probably another pipe. And up here you can see the holes cut in these horizontal joists and stud work for the vent stack. So this area has already got the holes cut for the drain and the stack. That's very convenient. There was a rack underneath this mattress that we're storing, and made a rack on this side. So this is the antique rug that we had to move out of the way because the machines were higher than the shelf we had on this other side here. So this is enough room to move in the washer and the dryer. And let me just flip around. You can see the rest of the space that we're going to use for the bump out for the pantry cabinets and the refrigerator. So we have some antiques and things here that need to get moved. Here's my cardboard trout trophy. I printed that on a piece of paper, put it on some cardboard, and glued it onto a wood log and put some glitter on it and some string for the little tentacles that carps have. So it's one of my creations. Here's my wife's antique umbrella stand. So we got to move that back over. It has antique umbrellas and a marble top. So we got to put that back in a safe spot. The leaves for our table and some other odds and ends in here. So this area has to get completely cleaned out before we put down a subfloor that the washer and dryer will sit on. So Steve and I are going to move those tomorrow. We kind of ran out of time, and that gives me a chance tomorrow to clean out this stuff here, get it somewhere else, and then put some wood down so we can just drop washer and dryer right there and we'll be good to go. Just got to hook up the water supply, the drain, and the electrical, and we'll be all set. So we did move the big table. It's right here. So we have that out of the way for now, and it's covered. So that'll find a home somewhere else before we're ready to put the cabinets in. Now we're back down in the cellar, and I wanted to clean all the stuff hanging in the joists. I had these wooden cleats up here, and I had like lumber and pipes and conduit and all kinds of odds and ends up in these bays. So I needed to clean these all out. Here's some of the stuff here. You know, American flags, curtain rods, boat paddles, all kinds of stuff. So that's one collection. Here's another collection over here. Dowels and molding and, you know, spare pieces of wood. So there's some long planks I got them leaned against there. So that's some of the other stuff I pulled out of the rafters. There's another spot where I have some stuff stored. That's the rest of the stuff. Let me show you that. So these items in the barrels, were in the rafters as well. So just a lot of spare lumber and piping and duct work for the wood stove and some extrusions for doing certain, doing the fireplace around baseball bats, curtain rods, painting rods. So all this stuff, I'm going to just dump it in the trailer and sort through it and just keep the really good stuff and get rid of everything else. There's too much junk down here. I got to thin this out big time. So I thought I would get to the workbench, and I obviously didn't. But this is good stuff. This is my electrical bag, my plumbing bags, my DeWalt cordless equipment. I got some buckets with zip ties, electrical supplies. There's a drill press table with a laser sight. Hardware. This is just all the odds and ends that were stacked on top of my toolboxes. I had to put them somewhere so I could move the toolboxes. So the last area I got to clean up is from this end of the workbench here to about underneath where the wrenches are. That's the only area that remains to be cleaned because the kitchen is directly above the workbench and these bays that I cleaned out. So this is going to give free access to the technicians so they can run wires in these bays. I mean, these are wide open now. And I got it all vacuumed out. There's a lot of stuff stuck in these bays. that rained down from the demolition work. So now they're completely empty. There's more than enough space to run wires along the beam and jump into a bay and then run it across to the bottom plates and up into the kitchen. So this is the part that's most important, is these bays are clear. The workbench, I could just push that all into a couple of barrels, take it outside and deal with it later. So technically I could clean this up in about 10 minutes. But I'm going to put everything in its place. I've got a nice rack over here that has all my odds and ends. It's pretty well organized. Did lose a couple of spots here because we got the sink kind of built in. I had to cut a hole in the wire to get the faucet up through here. So got a couple more these red bins to stash. I'll probably just thin out some junk and have those in in reserve. Could stick them over in this back corner over here. There's a spot right there. I could put it next to that scroll saw. So we got a lot to do here, but this is all stuff that I want to retain. This is stuff that is not dumpster worthy. It's just got to put it in its place. Plus I have all these drawers down here. I can put stuff in these drawers. I got plenty of drawers to store stuff. But as you see, there's a lot of stuff under the bench. I mean, this is like 20, 30 years of mechanical acquisitions that, materials you can reuse and stuff I just hid away. There's another little drill press. This is the disaster area over here. I got a small drill press. I got a big drill press over here. I got my hardware section over there. We got more than enough hardware for anything I need to do. Still got stuff in the rafters. I got my deer scale and clamps, and anytime I need clamps, do-it-yourself books, disco balls. You never know when you're gonna need a set of those. All kinds of reference material, my electric motor, propeller, bungee balls, COVID supplies. There's my xylophone. Everyone's got to have one of those. There's where I keep mine. So there's, this whole tool bench just had stuff just piled on it. So this I can ignore for now because this is nowhere near the kitchen area. The kitchen area is over here by these hot peppers. So anything from this beam to the left is what has to be cleaned so the electricians can get in here and do their magic. Everything else I can ignore a little while longer. And here's the roll-away toolboxes that I just had to get out of the way. These are all lined up against this wall. So now they're just all parked here. So this one here is my toolbox from work when I got laid off from the Hamilton Sunstrand. These are all my mechanics tools and my gauges and all kinds of things from work. So that's what I used at work. We got bins stored here pretty neatly. So this cellar's pretty packed with stuff. And the technicians wouldn't have to clamor over all this stuff. So I got another 2 rollaways full of tools. So they really just need to be able to get down this main beam up into these rafters right here and over in this area by the bench so they can run their wires up against the wall to put the outlets for the washing machine, microwave, oven, blah, blah, blah. So we're looking pretty good. I'm happy that all I have left to do is from there to there. And then we're ready for the electricians.